Thank you for joining us on this edition of the show. Nigerians are indeed worried about the security situation in the country today. My guest is a startup founder in the security space and will discuss the role technology can play in helping to improve the situation. We have much more lined up for you right after now. I am Chukwemeka Agbata, and this is Tech Trends.
Urban mobility is a massive global challenge. The world needs people to use multiple forms of transport, a mix of biking, walking, and other low-energy forms of transportation.
Getting around in a city like Lagos could sometimes be very challenging with the limited options available in terms of mobility. But what if there's a more practical way to commute, have fun, and stay fit at the same time? That's what this Nigerian smart mobility startup, Our Bike, is all about.
Our Bike is a micro-mobility company that is focused on providing sustainable transportation options for Africa's 1.2 billion people. Currently, you would find us in university campuses around Nigeria. So we are starting from closed communities. The focus is university campuses and then residential estates. The dream is to get as many people as possible in Africa on bicycles.
By turning to bicycles as a means of transportation, the app-based bicycle sharing platform enables users get around the city in an eco-friendly way.
Several transportation problems in terms of flexibility. Transportation options currently are not flexible enough. Many times we even have shortage of these options, especially at peak periods. They're also not healthy enough and not friendly to the environment, so not eco-friendly as well. So what we try to do and how we change things is, A, we provide that flexibility, for the commuter to be in control of where and when and how, he or she decides to move from point A to point B. Another thing we do is also give them the opportunity to exercise, while they're doing this, right? The third thing we do is actively trying to play a part in cutting down carbon emissions, in the society.
Ifeoluwa says he had the idea when he moved to France for his studies and found himself using a bicycle while he was there. That was then the idea hit him, and he mooted it to his friends.
My partner Ife was in France for his MBA, and he had to move around with a bicycle because, it was faster for him, it was cheaper for him, and it also helped him with the problem of the language barrier, which is French. And he called me one day, I just finished from law school, and he was like telling me about this and all, and what do I think about this. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea, that don't we think it can work in universities? We thought about that this is something that we can actually adapt and make work for students.
Through the Our Bike app, riders can register and get links to available bicycles within a location.
We want people to understand that it's for us, it's for everyone, now our own, which is what we get people saying from time to time, say our bike, now we get them on our own. So it's something we want people to be able to own and feel like, like it's theirs as well.
So how do you go about it?
This is our app. Right, you can see bicycle, but it's also AWA, hour, right? Yeah, so that's, you basically tap. If you tap into that, it will show you the number of bikes in the area you have in the area. So here you get to pick a bicycle, right? You can reserve a bike 10 minutes before you ride the bicycle. So this only lasts for 10 minutes. You click on that to reserve the bike, and then you can select any bicycle you want. Go to the bicycle, click on unlock. When you unlock the bike, you can either use the QR code to unlock here in between the handlebars, or you put the number of the bicycle, right? And there's one here at the back of here. So you basically unlock the bike.
The 11th Sustainable Development Goal is on making cities inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable, and our bike is bridging that gap by trying to cut down on pollution and carbon emission.
In our company, we pride ourselves in taking care of the environment, and with our products, we intend to reduce or minimize everybody's carbon footprint as much as possible, because I mean, with climate change and all, it's left to us individually to try our best to ensure that we do not further deplete the ozone layer. And also, we've seen that a lot of us tend to be very dormant and do not exercise a lot. So cycling is also a very good form of exercise. It's very good for your heart. It's very good for the heart rate. It's very good for the blood rate. So we've also seen so far that students also really use it to exercise, because one of our busiest times is actually after school hours.
Using a community-based approach, the young startup is targeting campuses and selected communities across the country. Although the rate of adoption is quite impressive, they were not without challenges.
For us, at the beginning, one of the biggest problems we faced was convincing at first the investors that this was going to be viable, because I mean, how would you tell somebody that you want to put bicycles in school? I mean, a lot of times they will not understand it, so at first rather, but lucky for us, our investors were very forward-minded people, and we explained to them and let them see how this can work. Then the other problems we've had has sadly been with the universities. I mean, a lot of them have received us gracefully, but at times the whole procedure between introduction and the final implementation tends to take some time. So that has also been an issue I've had to face.
The startup not only aims to revolutionize mobility, but also to incorporate health and lifestyle management.
PEG Africa's Cool Blocks is a solar-powered fridge that provides affordable energy for businesses in remote locations that are off the energy grid. Originally intended to maximize the profits of SMEs, informal traders and businesses selling perishable goods, PEG Africa's CEO says the technology can also be used to store COVID-19 vaccines, such as the AstraZeneca, which requires temperatures of 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. PEG Africa's approach is to sell solar technology with pay-as-you-go financing for customers who could not otherwise afford it, and in locations where power is either totally absent or unreliable, much like the island of Lahu Panda in Ivory Coast, where fisherman Anthony Fiani is receiving his first solar-powered fridge.
After inserting the token, you now have the cool box with 8 water tanks. These water tanks are full of water and have to freeze in order to keep the temperature really low inside the cool box. So this equipment works with the Ivorian electricity company CIE as well as with solar.
Fiani says he can now store his freshly caught fish for at least 10 days, paying for the fridge in regular installment from the fish sale profits. 4 days after it was installed, the solar fridge is operational. It works by freezing water inside internal panels. PEG has also delivered solar water pumps for agricultural businesses, PayG solar systems for SMEs in Mali, household electricity for villages in Senegal, and solar energy to power clinics in Ghana. Applied on a large scale, these types of solutions will be a game changer in sub-Saharan Africa, where governments and health ministries are striving to find ways to vaccinate populations in remote, hard-to-access areas.
The vaccines that are starting to enter our countries in Africa, in Senegal, Ivory Coast just received the first vaccines, need a cold chain that is particularly important and rigorous. And if we don't have, if the relevant departments and the health ministries don't follow this cold chain logic, then clearly people living in more remote areas will not have access to the vaccine.
According to Global Health Science and Practice, nearly 60% of healthcare facilities in sub-Saharan Africa have no access to electricity, and amongst those that do, only 34% of hospitals and 28% of health clinics have reliable 24-hour access. Efficient health services and responses to diseases including COVID-19 depend on reliable access to electricity. PEG Africa is currently piloting the solar-powered fridges in Ivory Coast and Senegal with the fishing community. And with funding from Power Africa, a network of private and public groups set up by USAID, PEG started providing solar power systems to off-grid health clinics, which will help drive the COVID-19 vaccination campaign. This is amongst one of the solutions that Africa could explore to vaccinate more people and control the spread of the coronavirus.
And I think this is an opportunity for our idea, our freezer project, to join automatically, immediately, today, and to encourage the specialists and actors in the health services and in health ministries to associate themselves with us to find solutions.
À s'associer à nous pour pouvoir trouver des solutions.
Another solution could be Nigeria's Brick Fridge, a cold chain box for transportation that works with a real-time storage temperature and location. The batteries are solar-powered, and the company uses Wi-Fi to monitor the box and the temperature during transport to ensure it remains constant. Meanwhile, in Rwanda and Ghana, Zipline has been using drones to deliver life-saving medication. The company, which has been operating in Ghana since 2019 to deliver medicine to remote clinics, started flying COVID-19 vaccines from Mpani in Ashanti after Ghana received the first AstraZeneca vaccines through the COVAX alliance. It took 34 minutes for the drone to airdrop 25 vials in Asufwa, where 250 people were vaccinated within 5 hours. They made another 35 drone deliveries that day to the Asufwa Health Center. Although there are many factors impeding high levels of vaccination in sub-Saharan Africa, one of them is the safe transport and storage of the vaccine, which guided many countries to acquire AstraZeneca, Sputnik V, and Sinopharm vaccines that don't need to be stored at such low temperatures as the Pfizer, which must be stored at minus 70 degrees Celsius, and Moderna vaccines, which requires minus 25 degrees, for example. But solar power solutions like PEG Africa's fridges, Brick Fridge, and fast drone transport like Zipline can go a long way towards overcoming one of the major hurdles in the rollout of vaccines in sub-Saharan Africa.
YouTube is a video sharing platform that offers something to everyone. It houses a wide variety of videos in different fields which often come in handy. However, not everyone uses incognito mode while browsing videos on YouTube. So, the best way to ensure that your secret stash of videos don't slip up into the search window of other people is by clearing your YouTube watch history and search. And here is how you can do that. When using the YouTube app, tap on your profile image. Then tap on Settings options. Scroll down to History and Privacy section, and then tap on Clear Search History option. Doing so will not only wipe off all the videos that you watched, but also the videos that you have searched for from all the connected devices connected with your account. When using YouTube on web, open youtube.com. Tap on History option on the left side of the window. On the right side, select Watch History. Click on Clear All Watch History option. Now select Search History option in the right-hand side. Click on Clear All Search History option. And that's how to clear your YouTube search and watch history.
Coming up is my chat with Olawale Atekoja, co-founder at Secular Technology. Stay with us.
The security industry is constantly changing, and technological evolutions are completely transforming the industry for the better. The effect of this technological shift has been nothing but positive, from law enforcement agencies to smartphone use to recruitment processes. The Union of Technology and Security Systems has greatly transformed home and business security. While it's impossible for security professionals to monitor all parts of an area at all times, having a unified system, which includes cameras, alarms, detectors, and analytic tools, means that there can be an immediate notification if an accident occurs or a situation requires urgent attention. Security organizations may be late adopters of technology to manage their workforces, but once implemented, the early benefits of technological solutions become quite apparent. This week, we discuss with Olawale Atekoja, CEO of Seclot, on how we can adopt state-of-the-art security.
What's your take about the security situation in the country today?
Well, considering the state of the nation, I would say it's really depressing, considering the kidnapping situations, the killings in the north, and also the bandits issue is really alarming. We didn't expect this as at when we voted Oga in, but right now it seems we don't have any solution to it. So what I would basically say is we just need to look inward and see how best to solve it.
For those of us in the technology space, the biggest question in our mind is, what role can technology play in all of this? What's your take?
Well, when we look at technology security, there are quite a lot of roles that it can play. So, for example, if I pick the kidnapping of a thing, we heard of when a US guy was kidnapped, and overnight they came to rescue him. Now, we don't really have the details of how that was done, but I'm sure that was through technology. It wasn't as if they had somebody in the forest. So if you look at drones, if you look at good flight drones there to check on these guys, we could use tracking system. There are quite a lot of things that could be put in place. But as we all know, I don't know what's happening at the ends of the affairs that is not allowing us get this. But in our own field, we look at surveillance systems. You can use to get these things. So that's just what I would say for now.
And it's important for viewers to know exactly what they can do to protect themselves, right? So what are some of the equipment out there that people can sort of use to at least protect themselves? Because it's getting quite worrisome in the country today. So what are some equipment you think that people should have around them that that can help them better secure themselves?
Oh, for individuals, when you look at some have thought about licensing of guns, which that is not legal as of today in Nigeria. So when we look at protecting ourselves as individuals, there are basic things that we might want to start with, even the preventions. But after the preventions, you can also look at, okay, you're going out. Are you actually informing your friends and families where you're going to? Do you have like a tracking system where they can actually know where you are at every point in time? So you could even use something as simple as your WhatsApp, share my location, such that wherever you are, they can be able to know, okay, this is where you are at a particular point in time. For ladies, I know I've heard of ladies using pepper spray. So when they get attacked, they could actually use a pepper spray. Teasers, I wouldn't say teasers are actually licensed in Nigeria, but I know some that go around with it just to protect themselves. So for individuals, there's little that you can play, but at least inform your family and friends. Get one or two teasers if needed. Get pepper sprays for the ladies if needed to protect yourself. But outside that, we also have distress notification system, such that when you're in a distress, you can trigger an app and it sends notification to your friends and families. So we have organizations that are actually using this now, especially for multinationals that have foreign expatriates. They use these systems. So to an extent, I would say that for individuals. And then coming to the police, well, they're trying their best, but I think it can be better. They claim they don't have weapons to actually fight the bandits, that they have more higher weapons than them, but we're calling on the government to come to our assistance with that.
Okay, so do you think that, because you mentioned the case of the US guy that was, rescued overnight, right? Do you think it's a case of poor funding and investment in technology? Because, for those of us in this space, we sort of believe that, there's a lot of tech systems that you can infuse into the system that would actually make a difference. What's your take?
Poor funding. So, from the news we've been hearing, the budget is heavy. So would we really say it's poor funding, or we say there's a politics happening in that space? Because to an extent, yes, the US came to pick up their guy. Even if we don't have the funding, I'm sure if we ask for assistance, they would be willing to give us this assistance. So I don't want us to agree to that excuse of poor funding. There is something happening in there that is not obvious to you and I that is happening at the upper level. So we hear of people sponsoring this. We don't understand what is behind this, but I believe it's more of a political agenda than the real thing. They're just playing with people's life. For me, that's it. That's my take.
Recently, there was this, unfortunate incident of the young lady, late Umoren, that was murdered. With all the social media, all the fact about exposing ourselves and our very, private details, and as someone in the security space, right? What are your thoughts about, the reality of living in today's world and still protecting yourself?
Okay, so a lot is happening on social media right now. People post every single thing that happens in their life every single day. So all it takes an attacker to do is basically to study you for like a week and understand where you are at every point in time. So my advice is this: reduce what you post. Even if you're going to post, you don't have to be live post. You could take pictures yesterday and post it today. So possibly the guy is probably thinking you're still there yesterday, whereas you've gone, you're no more there. Then outside that, we actually started something that has to do with free verification for employment scam. So if you get an employment notification, and this came as a result of this lady's issue, if you have anyone calls you for an employment, reach out to us, vet@seclot.com, and we'll verify for you even before you go there for free. So don't worry, we are covered. We would undo that for you. It's free. So that is our little offering back to also assist people as regards this employment scam.
It's important that people share where they are going to, with their very close family or friends, so that in case of anything that happens, may have so rest in perfectly. But Wale, as we close the show, right? Yeah, as we close the show now, what would be your final words to Nigerians? These very unfortunate times of high insecurity. What will be your final words?
So many years before now, I would have said, guys, stay back. Nigeria is going to be better. Nigeria would be better off. But right now, what I would tell people is choose wisely. For some of us that would stay back or choose to stay back, it doesn't mean that if it gets to the worst, we wouldn't leave. It's just that we are trying to stay back to be able to help the nation, because if every one of us leaves, then what happens to the nation? But for some of us that feel we don't have what it takes right now, there's nothing stopping you from going there, but make it and come back to Nigeria to make it better, because it's we alone in here can't do it. We also need support from the outside world. So imagine Nigerians in diasporas coming to assist us, then we would get better. So for me, the solution to the problem in Nigeria is not just for Nigerians in Nigeria alone. It also cuts across Nigerians in diaspora. So if people say they want to go out of the country, it's good, it's fair. The only thing I would say is don't forget home, because we all have to make it better for ourselves. We are Nigerians, so that's it.
All right, Wale, thank you for being on Tech Trends today.
Thank you, CFA.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
As you've heard from the CEO of Seclot, Olawale Atekoja, at the national level, we really have to invest in state-of-the-art tech security infrastructure. But also, individuals need to take their own security seriously until such a time that the federal, state, and local governments can guarantee security for all. The sad reality is that no sector can thrive in the face of high insecurity because investors will simply choose smaller but more secure countries like Ghana. Please stay safe out there and ensure you contribute to a more peaceful society. That's our show for today. Remember, we live on social media at Tech Trends TV. You can watch these and previous editions of the show on Channels TV, YouTube, or cfablog.ng. For Tech Trends, I'm Chukwemeka Agbata.